So what's up, y'all? I'm Lee.
And I'm Clarissa.
And we are Married, Black, and in Tech, or MBIT for short. And today we just kind of want to keep the same theme that we had before, the couch conversations.
But first, I got to tell you guys a quick story. So 2 of our viewers saw our last conversation, our last video, and they pointed out my neck, and they thought that I had a thyroid issue going on. So that night, after I read the comments, I'm like, oh man. I go and I look at the old videos. I'm like, maybe there is something wrong. So I'm in the hospital. We didn't get any sleep. I literally go to the hospital that same night because I'm like, what if something's wrong? I just had a baby. What if, I just want to get it checked out if someone else notices. So long story short, in many hours in the ER, and I'm sure quite a bill. Yeah. There is nothing wrong. It is literally just baby fat weight still and a lack of sleep because we have a 3-month-old. So thank you to who was concerned about this. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to work it off. But this is what you guys are gonna get for now.
Yeah, we were like, it's crazy that a lack of sleep. We were looking up. You can start diagnosing yourself on Google and everything.
I think I had
hypothyroidism. We thought we had B12 deficiencies.
All kinds of things.
Migraines, everything just going on. Finally, it's just a lack of sleep. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. That a lack of sleep would, we just started experimenting with being plant-based vegans and everything.
Vegans, yeah.
Yeah, and so we were like, oh, B12. We weren't taking those B12, those pills right there. But, it just was lack of sleep. So we all good. So y'all still going to deal with us for a little bit longer. We ain't dead yet. We're going to live a little bit. And, we're going to get back with that trainer, which we had. We had a trainer.
We have a trainer. That's another story for another day. But, so we wanted to have this conversation. Well, really a question and answer session between us.
Well, yeah, something like in the last conversation we had, the last couch combos, it kind of came up briefly towards the end about the stay-at-home mother thing. And I guess it kind of got us to thinking about, maybe we should have a deeper conversation on that. Again, I think we said before, she didn't intend to be a stay-at-home mom. So
it was by default.
Yeah, it was definitely by default. And also, real quick, we have the baby monitor on. So if y'all hear a baby crying, we sorry. He's sleeping right now, but I think I saw his eyes open for a little bit. So it's okay. We're gonna see what we can do. All right, so again, so it just kind of started thinking man, how does she really feel, about, I guess, being kind of thrown into this role? So just quick little background and recap. We were doing the notary business a little bit over a year ago, and then that started going bad. And then I was like, I gotta find something else for my family to provide. Ended up finding a post about technology, and I ended up pursuing technology and got into technology about a little bit over a year ago. And then as a result of that new job with AWS, we had to move to Austin.
Exactly.
Well, by moving to Austin, as you know, with notaries, you're commissioned to your state, which we were in Florida. Now we're in Texas. And we then proceeded to move a whole lot more after that. So it never was really in one place for there to really be an opportunity for her to, I guess, get
a full-time job.
Then you got pregnant too.
And I was very sick, yeah.
Yeah, she got pregnant as well. So yeah, that's kind of the quick background. But let's do these things from your perspective. For me, it was, I just was focused on getting this money, not losing the house, stuff like that, crazy things. What was going on in your mind?
Well, when we first got to Texas, it was more so of, okay, I got to try to make sure everything is handled with the household, with our kids and everything, so that you can learn this job, because you had no background in tech. You had to have one major ramp up, a lot you had to learn. So my goal was kind of to make it as easy for you as possible so that, you could stay in that job, obviously.
Yeah, you want to lose it.
So it wasn't until I think month 2 that I realized I was kind of a stay-at-home, because for a while I was like, once you're unpacking, you're just getting everything unpacked and you get everything situated. We were doing school tours for our daughter, and it wasn't until everything was unpacked and everything was settled, and I realized I was like, I stay at home and I'm a mom. I guess I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of instantly I got nervous. I got really nervous. I was like, because what is this going to require? What does this look like? What are the duties? What am I supposed to be doing? Because I've always been independent, and I've always, being raised by Black independent women that says don't depend on a man. And even though I never really saw a healthy marriage, I just the thought of just relinquishing pretty much my ability to work and generate income scared me. So initially it was rough, and it still has some moments, but so I hope it answered the first question.
Yeah, you did. And with that, we're going to have to pause here for a second because our son is snapping. You know, he gets real attached real quick, so we'll be right back. When the video come on, he want to start crying. See, he don't want y'all to see him weak. Oh, wait a minute.
He's upset.
He mad because we try to do a video without him. So give us a little bit again. And we're back. Now, you know, he just, I don't know, he didn't want us to record without him, y'all. I'm telling you. He said, listen, we've been doing these couch conversations together all this time. Don't try to switch up. We try to leave him in the room, let him stay asleep, but that didn't work. So
so he's here.
So we're going to kind of continue the conversation. So where were we at last time?
I think I ended on answering your first question about being a stay-at-home mom.
Oh, no, yeah. So just being a stay-at-home mom, but like how it's going to happen. So I think that was like the fun thing for me. I didn't really even think of you as a stay-at-home mom. I just thought it was like we just relocated and, you know, you in transition, like you'll find a job when we get out here.
Yeah.
And I think just after a while, like it just started to, I don't know, make sense for the timing of things, especially when we got pregnant with our son
with him. It made more sense to do it to stay just because I tried to got a job.
Oh yeah.
I got a job like in May of last year. I was a recruiting coordinator, and it lasted 2 days. I just did not like it, and I was really, really sick, so I wasn't in a real mindset to like be open to that role. And so then we decided, hey, it's probably just best for me to just kind of like chill at home for now, and then with the expectation to find something later on, like after he got older. And I mean, I even tried to find something while I was pregnant, but it just, none of that was working out. So it kind of felt like God was telling me just kind of sit down.
Speak to that a little bit. Like, so like we did the referral thing. You got the recruiter coordinator position at Amazon.
Yep.
Then you was there for 2 days.
I was there for 2 days, and then.
And what else did you try to pursue?
Well, but before that one, it was a title company I was going to work for, and then, but I wanted to get the recruiting coordinator job, so I declined that role with a title company, and then I ended up taking the role working with Amazon or AWS as a recruiting coordinator. And then I declined that role, and I just was like in search. Oh, when we first got to Texas, I was gonna go to school to do lashes.
Oh yeah, we did a whole tour and everything.
Yeah, I was going for esthetician. I was gonna go to school to do that, and then when I got there, that just didn't feel right. So I was just like bouncing around. It was so odd for me because I never really bounced around job wise. I had only worked 2 professional jobs in my life, both one with federal government, one with state government, and so it was just really a season of like me floating around trying to like figure out like what my calling was and what I was going to do until like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 months in, it was kind of like, this might be what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And then, you know, so yeah.
So did you like feel like God was just blocking every attempt for you to not be a stay-at-home mom anymore?
Yeah, I did. I felt like I was blocking it. Then I had a moment, honestly, where like I regretted leaving my old job because I felt like, I left on a high. I was promoted right before I left, and I started kind of having these regrets and whatnot. But then I realized in it that like my job was really my identity. Like my career was my identity, and that's like I found my identity in my work. And I think God was really challenging me on that, like, saying, hey, your identity is not in your work. Yeah, I want you to do well, and I want you to represent me in whatever it is you do, but that is not your identity. Your identity is in me. And I was and still am exploring that part of life.
Yeah, so like, one thing with us, I would say we're always trying to make it in some area, right? So like, do you feel like you just like have to do something because of that? Like you've always been going and going. Yeah. Do you feel like you just have to do something?
Yeah, a part of me does feel like that because I've always done something. And, it's like, you think about the world doesn't view stay-at-home moms in the most positive light. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, they're lazy, or all they do is stay at home. Like, all they do is stay at home. This is probably the toughest job I've ever had. It's nonstop. It's like 24 hours a day. It's constant. You're meeting emotional, physical needs. You're just meeting so many different needs being a stay-at-home mom and wife. You know, at least when I was working, I could get a break. Like, I could go to work and I got a break from the house and from being a wife or being home or
being a
kids.
wife. Y'all heard her, right?
Being
Y'all heard her from being a wife, right? Being a wife. She want a little break from being a wife. You know, yeah. Always going to be a wife, you understand? You're always going to be a wife.
I had a break, and it was like going to work felt like a relief for me. Because being home was like, oh man, I got to do all of these, you know, this and that. But anyway, yeah. So
you had like a really tough time, like kind of coping with it in the beginning.
I had a tough time coping with it. I've just now gotten into like a little bit of the groove of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, I still have my days where I'm like, this ain't the life I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm going crazy because this baby won't let me sleep, or my daughter won't stay in her bed, or my oldest son is getting in trouble at school or something. So like,
that's sleep deprivation too. Yes, the earliest form of torture.
Yes, and sleep deprivation like makes you listen. Those who are parents, if you've parents and you've experienced a newborn, you know that sleep deprivation is serious. Like, it's very serious, and that has really taken a toll on us. So like, I'm just getting in my groove with being a stay-at-home mom as I think about transitioning out of being a stay-at-home mom. So it's interesting. We don't know where that's gonna kind of go. I don't know if I will be doing become a sales development rep. I've taken the training to become one, but we definitely want to wait till he gets older before I go into that. But I don't know. We want to do so much, and it's like we feel like even though he makes the amount of 2 incomes, like a little more could retire us early to where we're able to do whatever we want to do.
Yeah, I think that's like what it is. Like you kind of, you get to a certain amount of money, and then you're like, okay, my bills are paid now.
Yeah.
But you start to think about like what's beyond that. Like what's past that now. Like what can I grow and build and increase? You know, what kind of legacy can I live? You know, everyone talks about generational wealth. Like, we've been talking about generational wealth for the longest. That's why we invested in real estate. That's why we started businesses. That's why we did so many things. And that's why we got a financial advisor as well, because we're still just trying to, pursue that and figure it out. And I think when we were doing course careers too, I mean, it was just like another one of those things where we just like felt like, oh yeah, we could drastically increase his income. So I say all that to say, like, originally you were like gung-ho about doing the tech sales thing and doing course careers, but like, how are you feeling right now?
So I haven't taken the test yet, but I've done all of the instructional hours of it. I feel torn, really. Part of me wants to go ahead and I'm going to take the test no matter what, but part of me wants to go and get the job as a sales rep or something in technology, or even if it's not technology, something. But then the other part of me is like, am I still supposed to be home during this season with the kids and taking care of the household? Because like the goals that we have may require us living abroad, and I may not have as a flexible job as Lee will have, because he's higher up in the technology field. Companies may not be as lenient with me in doing that. And not only that, if we transition abroad, there's a lot of the administrative stuff that I normally, get done that would have to get done before we go and set up so that Lee can focus on his job. So I don't know, like I'm still torn about it.
Yeah, we so like this whole concept of a traditional marriage has kind of really come up a lot for us. I think like there's this negative connotation around traditional marriages,
right?
Especially because we live in a time where women gotta work, so like it's not everyone's not blessed to where one income, one person working can cover the household. So we watched like we watched some Anthony O'Neill stuff, and we've seen some of his listened to some of those podcasts, and we heard another couple that talked about the benefits of traditional marriage and like the fact that you kind of get to specialize. So like for me, like that's kind of been like one of the greatest benefits is the fact that like I feel like we've gotten a lot further than we've been, because when we were both working, it was extremely busy. It was very busy.
It was. It was hard to maintain and keep things around the house together.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about? I mean, obviously you said that it's less busy now, but how do you feel, like? Do you want me to go back to work? Like, do you? That's a good question. Do you want me to go back to work?
So
because I need a contract written up then.
right. I feel you. I get to you. Cause we not. It's gonna always be us. The Smiths gonna last forever. So you need whatever contract.
Do you want me to work?
No, like in reality, not really. But like not work in the traditional sense. Like we have so many goals of like business. I mean, even this YouTube channel, I guess, is in a sense of business, right? I guess I don't know, but we just have our own. I mean, it's therapy,
it's
really.
YouTube therapy for real.
Yeah, I guess really y'all helping us more than anything. So
you help me with my neck.
Yeah, right. Because what if it was a thyroid thing? Like, what if it was?
Seriously, the viewer who picked that
y'all seen the thing on me? Like, let me know if I got a mole. It's like, I might go to the doctor.
So tell me. Do you want me to work? Tell me. Do you want?
No.
Me
So
to
yeah,
work?
I don't really necessarily want you to work in the traditional sense. Like I think we have a lot of things going on currently. Around financial advising stuff and coaching and all this other stuff we have that we're talking about. And then we have this big goal of within the year possibly living abroad, which will again create so much margin for us because it's expensive in America. But I guess it's that, like I feel like we would lose our flexibility to be nomadic,
right?
If you work a traditional job.
Where I gotta go in and all that.
But yeah, go into the office. You gotta commute. Like we found the benefits of just like well, we don't need two cars. Like, what do we got two cars for? I don't go in the office, and I'm always home, and those things like that. And it kind of increases the expenses of stuff.
That's true, because now we only need one car because they work from home, and then if I need a car, I just get a car. Yeah. I guess like part of the challenge, I would say, with some of it has been is like not being able to have an outlet all the time, just because like the baby's small, so we can only go so far away from home in a sense. Like we haven't been able to do vacations. Obviously, when I was pregnant, we couldn't do it because I was really sick. So just kind of like finding an outlet. So if you guys have any suggestions for a I would say relatively new stay-at-home mom, like ways, outlets and things that I can do, like please put it in the comments. We did some walking
for a little bit,
but we got some random dogs in the neighborhood.
These stray dogs out here.
I am afraid of the dogs, and we do have a trainer. We actually started training this past Tuesday, but what we realized is that the baby, he still has night feeds. And so he's getting up a couple of times a night, and it was very, like, the session that we went to Tuesday was very difficult. So we asked our trainer.
Made me feel like I was old.
Yeah, we asked our trainer to have some grace to give us a few, a couple more months until he's able to sleep through the night, so that we can begin training. But if you guys have any like recommendations or ideas for a stay-at-home mom, what I can do to kind of get an outlet, I would really appreciate it. I do my daily devotion. I read my scriptures. I listen to a podcast at least once a day. That's something new I've been implementing daily.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just thinking, like, I know you're talking. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I guess I'm just thinking, like, for me, it's like this is like a dream almost, right? Like I always dreamed of like being able to give my wife the option to work.
Yeah.
But then it's like, again, like it's like it's enough to.
It's just
to do a little something. We can't really go on dates. We can't do the other stuff we want to do. So that's why I'm like, okay, kind of transition.
Well, not the dates we want at Eddie V's.
Not the dates we like, we everyone like, oh, y'all can do something simple like go to the picnic, man. It's hot out here.
Yeah.
It's hot in Florida. I ain't never been to a picnic with these fire ants.
But I think as you transition, though,
I think
your new role, which is going to be a surprise in another video.
Oh, yeah, we'll surprise that one.
We'll be able to do all of that and more.
Yeah, definitely. But I think even more so if we go living abroad.
Yeah.
There'll be a difference. But, we'll kind of cut off here.
All right, y'all.
And,
Couch Talks.
Bye.
Peace.